There we go. Should be live-ish. Just going to share this across the universe. Okay. See if we are live now on... Yeah. Welcome everybody watching on YouTube or Twitch Video On Demand. This is the Crystal Chronicles podcast, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, episode 188, recorded on the 24th of February. This is the pre-show. Hunchu, you are the first one here. Congratulations. You get our love and support for all time. Unless you say something stupid, then kind of on your own at that point. Yeah, let me just share that we are live with everybody else in the world, so they all know. They're all excited about it. Who wouldn't be? I know you're all excited. Came Heart's here. Martyr's here on the YouTube. Summon Biscuits is here. Bringing the Doom. Doom posts incoming. Blame Squex. It's their fault. Blame Squex. Summon Biscuits subscribed for 18 months. Thank you, Summon Biscuits. FYI, for those of you who are here, I'm going to say this again, but just so you know, we're counting down to the 4th anniversary of the Crystal Chronicles podcast in this era, I believe. And to celebrate the 4th anniversary of the Crystal Chronicles podcast, your default podcast, I thought it'd be fun to do a special sub-campaign. Special sub-campaign. And what we're going to do is over the next 4 weeks, which will be over our anniversary month, every time, every stream, we get 40 subs, memberships, gift subs, super chats over $5, number of, divided by 5. We will do a poll, a gem poll on a banner of my choosing of a character I don't have. And we'll do that for 4 consecutive weeks if we get 40 subs each stream. So if we get 40 subs tonight, we'll do a banner, probably do it on the Gilgamesh banner. If we do it next week, again, if we don't get 40 tonight, but we get 40 next week, we'll do a poll next week. So just want to use my gems, and we'll also announce another thing that I thought might be fun for the community as we move towards season 5 of the Crystal Chronicles podcast. So, yeah. So we'll let people run in here. We probably won't start right at 9 o'clock because we just started the stream. But thank you, Tree Void, for the subscription. 7 months. Appreciate that. Jin Lee, what is the sub goal for you to pull below? Yeah, that's a lot. That's it's not even possible. Like at that point, you're just like pressing buttons for no reason whatsoever. So not really feasible to do that. So I don't even have a goal. But if we get Jin Lee of the Jin Lee show, Jin Lee on YouTube, if we get 40 subs every week for the next 4 weeks, I potentially may use 300,000 gems. 300,000 gems, Jin Lee of the Jin Lee show on YouTube. That's 75,000 potentially, plus 75,000 more, plus another 75,000 times 2. That's 300,000 gems I could use this month for you, for my love of you on the community. Again, predicated 40 subs, YouTube membership, super chats over $5 every time. But we could do it. So Raw Life, that should cheer you up because I'll be spending resources. But don't worry. This is a game. Yeah, no, we are boycotting. We're not spending money. We are not spending money. We are spending resources, and I would encourage none of you to pull. But I got to pay the rent, so it works. So what I'm encouraging, Jinli of the Jinli Show on YouTube, what I'm encouraging is that you spend your money on us, not on Defo, who has betrayed all of you. Drez, it looks like you are subscribed. You have the little thing by your name. Whether you were gifted a sub or something, you have the little thing by your name. So it does appear that you have been subscribed for 5 months. So I don't know when your subscription is up. You have to look at that yourself. I can't necessarily see that. No, J.A, we will talk Papa Lemo. We will talk, I promise. We will probably talk about the purchase gem controversy for a time, but we will also talk about Papa Lemo because this is your Dissidia Final Fantasy podcast, and J.A would like his Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast to talk about Papa Lemo, which is timely because Papa Lemo came out since the last time we did it. Yes. Yeah. So we will talk in depth about fire stance and ice stance and how apparently black mages can't move and then they just stand there and die. And I don't even know why I should be healing the black mages because I thought I just needed to heal the tank. But they just keep dying over and over again, and then I got to raise them, and then I'm wasting time trying to raise black mages when the boss is doing things. It's rough. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We may talk about Greg. And I didn't even make a dent in the story. So we won't be doing Lufania Plus because it just takes so freaking long to get through a story chapter. But we might do polls, and polls are fun. Polls are better than who wants to see Lufania Plus? Oh, you guys want me to watch me run Rosa through content? Come on. And don't be like that. Don't I get it. No, she's okay. No, come on. Don't be like that. We all do love Rosa, but don't be like that. Be okay. I love Rosa. She's not a great character. I don't know why I like her, because I do. I was young, stupid, impressionable. I like Princess Peach, too. It's not like she's got a great personality. Come on. But yeah. She's not great in this game. Never particularly been great. Yeah, she had great auras at one point. She got a lot of competition. A lot of people do what she does a lot better. And not in the future, just right now. Right now. Just right now. My Rosa is blue. This is show talk. Let's not talk about this. Let's pre-show. Mino has scoured the Ope for information, for insights. Min Woo BT plus hype. Yeah, does your Rosa have an ultimate weapon? Because you have Sarah ultimate weapon. Sarah's not C90, is she? I don't know. Do you have an ultimate weapon, Bo? That's some commitment. Did the stream start late? It did. Cross 13. Everybody check out Cross 13. He is on a prolific number of shows, including the Historia Crux, which he hosts. He was on episode 49 of The Ranting Hour, which is hosted by BC. These are all Defo shows. He was also on the Lost Hour of my life, No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. With our good friends, I'm kidding. With our good friends, Simply Lost. You got to be careful how you name things. So Chet Cross is apparently doesn't have a job. Been just TiFo 7 nights a week. We were gonna have him on, but we thought, give him a day off. Give him a day off. Let him rest. But he's here tonight in chat. So welcome Cross 13 on Twitch and YouTube. That's 13 with the Roman numerals because hey, it's Final Fantasy, people. Come on. Mark, can you remember the first time you discovered hentai? Yes. I don't really know how to address this, but yes, they sold it in the comic book shop where I spent a lot of my time growing up. So I was probably in high school, junior high, maybe. I don't know. In manga form, I guess. I don't know. Like what do you call like hentai comics? Are they still manga? I don't know. I don't know the appropriate. They looked like comic books, right? They were just with hentai. For those of you listening at home who are not familiar with hentai, it is a art form of the comic nature. Don't Google it. It's a term, overarching adult comics. Yeah, why aren't you playing Elden Ring? I'm not familiar with the Elden Ring, so I don't know what to tell you. I didn't know anything about Elden Ring till like yesterday, until people were talking about it, and I don't really care that much. So I'm sure it's super great, and I hope all of you play it and have a really good time doing that. So yeah. So I don't really know what else to say besides good luck. I hope it's fun. I hope everything is fun. You go and watch Uncharted at the movie theater. I hope you have a good time. Oh, Elden Ring is a Harry Potter game? I do love Harry Potter. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Do you get to choose which house you're in, or is it random? That's a big breaker for me. I don't want to be Ravenclaw. Come on, a cup. Cup? Is that Ravenclaw had the cup? I don't know. Where's all the Harry Potter people? Let me know which Horcrux was. Which Horcrux? I'm a Ravenclaw. Oh, that's such a Ravenclaw thing to say. No, Hufflepuff's great. You got to have Hufflepuffs. Got to have Hufflepuffs. If you don't have Hufflepuffs, shit doesn't get done. Yeah. I thought you said. I read that as Grinder is the chats. Of course, Grinders. That's what Grinder's about. You're saying Gryffindor. Gryffindor, not Grinder. That's a different thing. Yeah, Hufflepuffs are like house elves. Those are Hufflepuffs, right? The book didn't really make it clear. Who the hell? Who's a named Hufflepuff? Luna's Ravenclaw, right? What's Cho? She's a Ravenclaw, right? She's not Hufflepuff. I don't know. Give me a named Hufflepuff. Somebody, some Potterite out there, give me a named Hufflepuff, a Hufflepuff that I would remember from the 3 books that I've read multiple times. Cedric wasn't a Hufflepuff, was he? Was Cedric Diggory a Hufflepuff? I gotta Google this. Cedric Diggory. Is Cedric Diggory a Hufflepuff? I need to know this. He's a freaking Hufflepuff? That's fair. That's right. 10 points to Raw. 10 points to Raw Live and the live stream. We're gonna start awarding points. Gonna start awarding points to the different talk shows. 10 points to the live stream. Cross, you better get in here. If the Historia Crux wants to Well, but you let us know which one you want to award points to. Certainly, if you want the Historia Crux to get into the action for the Depot Talk Show Cup, right now, Livestream is in the lead with 10 points. So, okay, yeah, just Raw Life. Just Raw Life. Blart and Somege are on their own. Hey, let's this is not your, I mean, at some point it's gonna be your Harry Potter. We're gonna have to talk. Speaking of gotcha games that suck, it's not really a gotcha game, but man, it's stamina game. That Hogwarts Mystery, good idea, terrible execution. Yeah, not awesome. Hey, what I want you to know. What I want you to know. What I want you to know is that I love all of you. And I'm so glad you're here. And let's start this fucking show. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to episode 188 of the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, bringing you all your DissidiaFFOO news and talk. This episode recorded on February 24, 2022. And yes, I am Mark, your drunk coworker. Glad to be with you tonight, because we have so much to talk about this game, which will likely be closed at the end of the month. So let's get it all out now before the end of service. So I'm not by myself. Why would I be by myself? That would be weird. Then I'd just be some weird Twitch streamer. No. As with 17 other things that happened during the DissidiaFFOO week, I'm joined by my good friends and yours. It's Mino Spellgood. Mino, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, Mark. Things are still busy at work, but I'm looking forward to a relaxing weekend. How about you?
Probably not going to have a relaxing weekend, but life moves on. Sometimes faster than we'd like, and sometimes less fun than we'd like, but so it goes. Just the life experience of older parents with younger kids and older parents, if that made sense to you. I'm in a very strange demographic where I am a older parent with younger kids, and I also have older parents, so I get to deal with both of those fun things at the same time, which is not always a lot of fun. And so that's both kind of happening tonight. So if I step away, that's probably one of the reasons that I am doing it. So before we do start, a couple things. Yes, there's some things going on in my family. My mother-in-law is very, very ill. So I do appreciate your prayers, your thoughts, your good vibes. Also, all of our friends in the Ukraine, Russia, in the dispute and potential war breaking out there, but specifically the people who are most impacted by that in that region, regardless of what side you are. It's the innocents and the citizens of the countries who often suffer. And so if you are one of our friends who's in that area, we are thinking about you. If there's any way we can help you, reach out to you. Let us know that you're around. Let us know that you're safe. We are thinking about you, praying for you, and hopefully this does not escalate too bad, and hopefully we can get through together in a better world, as we all would like to, without war, without suffering, without violence. But that's it. Speaking of violence, we have a lot to talk about tonight. A couple things I do want to talk about. First, of course, our TCC intern, Poto Cedar. Last week, the question of the week was, what was the first GL time-traveling weapon? The answer is simply Tidus 35. It really started early, very early into the game that we got these time travelers, and it was Tidus 35, super broken. Having a HP dump at that point in the game was big news. So this week the question was, what is Mino's favorite game as stated on a live show in the past? Hard to say because it may not be true or not, but I think the answer, at least one of the answers, I think very right. So we'll share that at the end of this show and next week. Now, a couple sub-campaigns, or one sub-campaign, one maybe kind of like contest thing I want to offer to you all. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, like, sub, ring the bell, consider becoming a member, all that kind of stuff. On Twitch, you can sub, follow. Really appreciate all your support. On your favorite podcast app, leave us a review. Really appreciate it. But over the next 4 weeks, because this is going to be our 4th anniversary month, we're going to celebrate the 4th anniversary of the podcast here in a couple weeks. So over the next 4 weeks, every week on stream that we get 40 subs, YouTube memberships, super chats, $5 or more, divisible by 5, we'll just add them up like that. So if you do $10, we'll do 2, etc. If we get 40 subs, I will gem pity on air some banner for something I don't have. I'll do it 4 in a row, 4 weeks in a row, 4 for 40, 4 pities, 40 subs a month, 40 subs a week, excuse me, and we'll have fun. So if that's something you're interested in, that's a way you can support us, because you shouldn't be spending your money on this game, that's for sure, at least not till we hear a little bit more. But another thing I thought would be fun is, how about as we go to Season 5 of the Crystal Chronicles? Yes, we're in Season 5, heading towards episode 200. It's crazy how time flies. Poto Cedar, our TCC intern, is working on some new overlays, some new widgets, all these kind of things. So we're going to have a new Season 5 background. But I thought maybe I'd offer it to the community to do a contest for a new TCC intro video. Our good friend Dreamy did that awesome TCC intro video. I love it. We've been using it for a couple years now. But I wanted to offer it to all of you. We need a 15-second video. If you are somebody who likes to do that, make it TCC, make it DissidiaFFOO, make it fun. You don't have to use music. I can add music in, but if you have some ideas, you can share those. But I'd offer that to you. If anybody's interested, we'll pick the one we like, and we might use that for Season 5 of the Crystal Chronicles. If there's a couple we like, hey, we might use those too. So I just wanted to offer that up to you as a way you could support us, as a way you could just have a lot of fun with the community. And we'll share them all. We'll make a special video of all the different ones. If we get a whole bunch, we might get 0. But if we get a handful, I'll make a special video, and we'll have a lot of fun with it. All right. Enough about that. It's time to talk about updates. Oh, yes, we got an update, friends. There was maintenance. We all love maintenance. We're all very excited about what might happen with the Squex mobile stream. Not a lot of information on the Squex mobile stream, thanks to Squex Joshua, Squex Crystal. It was short and sweet, gave us what we needed to know. Some new quality of life updates, which we'll get to in a minute. But perhaps most importantly, we got this little red update right after maintenance called or titled The Purchased Gems Limit. So this is something we talked about on the show, I think, last week, because it was announced in JP that there was going to be a cap, a hard limit on paid or purchased gems. 300,000. And then it appeared in the language, and I reread the language in the Japanese message, and it could be translation issue, anything else. But it appeared that you would not be able to gain more purchased gems, but it didn't necessarily mean that you couldn't buy anything. The language used in the update or the announcement we got in Global kind of makes it seem like once you have 300,000 paid gems, you are no longer able to make purchases. Now, again, there's a lot of question marks about what this means. We don't quite know. It doesn't look great. And we did get a statement from Squex Joshua. You can read that statement. It's on Reddit. It's on MainCord. It's actually in our Discord under, I believe we have a GL official news. And you can read that fully. What Squex Joshua's comment was, basically it boils down to he is the community manager. He doesn't get to share things without consulting with everybody else, and that's fair. Squex Joshua is, of course, just a worker in the Squex cog, and we don't kill the messenger. We do beat them up occasionally, but you don't kill the messenger. You don't make their life horrible. It's already a terrible job to have, so don't look too bad a hit. But maybe a message for Mr. President. Matsuda, President Matsuda, is he the one who runs this operation, this whole shebang? Squex is such a weird hierarchy of business crap. Anyway, that's a mess. But I think President Matsuda is the boss. Hey, Mr. President, hold on a second. Mr. President, come on. You got to give us a little bit more than this. You got to get a better grip on your divisions here, on your teams, because all your properties are poo-poo right now. Come on. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is pretty good, but all the other things, pretty crap. Kind of tighten the reins. Come on. Be the president we know you are, Mr. President. Thank you. No, this is not. I don't know what this is. At the end of the day, we really don't know a lot about what this could be. There's been a lot of speculation. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, the problem that I have, and I'll let Mino talk, but the problem that I have with this is talking to people, because, so 300,000 gems, you can't buy anything. And I've shared this, and so, I've never really shared this before, but, so I have 575,000 paid gems. So I won't be able to buy anything. Like costumes, like Mog Pass, like bundles. I probably dropped a couple $1,000s on this game last year. I won't be able to buy anything. And quite a few people in my position, and quite a few people who have a lot more paid gems than I do, will also not be able to buy anything. So it seems like a real bad decision, because the people who are spending a lot of money on the game can't spend money on the game. And we're not going to just blow all of our gems willy-nilly. So what I've heard from a lot of the community who we hang out with is, we're not spending any money till we get some clarification about how this is going to work. Are we going to change purchased and acquired gems? Can I still make purchases, but I don't get the gems? How does it actually work? And hopefully we'll figure that out, because it launches in JP like tomorrow or tonight, how whatever the time zone is. But what the hell's the reasoning behind this? Is it some stupid attempt to make some more money? Because it doesn't seem like that's going to work. Is there some legal stuff? We got all kind of armchair legal experts, marketing experts trying to figure it out. Fine, whatever. It's fun speculation. But it really doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like a bad move in pretty much every way. And the longer Squex keeps us in the dark, the worse it's going to be for the community. And basically, I'm calling people not to spend any money on the game until this is clarified. This isn't some stupid thing about we don't like Vincent's kit, okay? This isn't, Kadaj isn't working well. This is, what the hell's the future of the game? Because if this is the end of the game, or the sign of the end of the game, or if the way that we play the game is drastically going to be changed because of the gacha mechanics or the paid mechanics, then yeah, I'm going to withhold until I know what's going on. And that's what investors do. And that's what a lot of people are going to do. So Squex should have anticipated this. It's bullshit that they didn't. And the longer they wait on it, it's just going to be bad. Mino, what are your thoughts on all this?
You hit a lot of the stuff that I wanted to say. I won't be doing any speculating, because it's all just, guesswork anyways, right? Like, we don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Who cares?
Yeah.
But what you said is exactly right. This wasn't people. This didn't blindside Josh or anything. This was something that was put into both versions and not addressed in either stream.
Yeah.
So we've had 2 Ope since then and 1 GL stream. None of them touched on it whatsoever, which is very strange, because they usually talk about every little thing. Usually the only things that don't get addressed in the streams are like tiny quality of life stuff that
minor
they probably
updates,
or something, right? Like this is a big deal. Like usually, I hate it. Like Josh's message talked about transparency, but this does not. It does not feel like they're being transparent at this at all, because they've had a lot of opportunities to address it. They knew it was coming. Like the more cynical people are saying it's just incompetence, but I refuse to believe it's just incompetence. I refuse to believe they didn't see the backlash of this coming, or people like knee-jerk reacting to this and withholding funds, because that's what we're doing. Like almost everyone we talk to that spends says, well, we're not going to spend until we find out what's going on, and we don't even know when we will find out what's
right.
going on, right? Like I was gonna pick up Gilgamesh's costume today. This month I was gonna drop a lot of money. There's 3 costumes,
Yep.
the premium pass, and
Yep.
then whatever high armor ingot bundles come and stuff. It's like I've actually been finding that I've been spending more and more money as the game goes on, right? Like
Right. Me too.
that's yeah, that's good on the game. But now I have no desire to spend because they aren't being transparent about this issue. They won't tell us why this decision is being made. And before I circle back to this, I just want to take a shot at all the other idiots who are trying to justify this, right? Like the first one is people saying this is because of some kind of law, some new JP gotcha law or some bullshit. I don't know where they're getting this from. My favorite response, as BC did to GH Neko earlier on Twitter today, when he was saying, "Oh, you guys are idiots, like, of course Squex wouldn't do this voluntarily. They're abiding to some new gotcha law regulation or something." And then BC's very first question was, "What law?" And as far as I know, GH Neko is still looking. It's been like 12 hours. He's still scouring the internet for what law this might be applying to. Very easy check, guys. First of all, if this was a law that Square Enix has to apply to, has to kowtow to, why isn't any other Squex gotcha limiting this spending, right? Like, if this really was a law, all other gotchas would be doing the same thing. None of them are doing the same thing. Not even other Square Enix gotchas. And the second thing is, when they do change gotcha laws, like raising the JP prices because the gotcha tax increased, they talked about it in their streams and in their in-game reports. This was not touched on at all. So I love how every minimum wage monkey is coming out of the works to talk about foreign laws and gotcha legal rights and stuff. They have zero ideas how any of this works, and none of them are paid for their opinions on this subject at all. So it's all pretty fucking worthless. So that's the first cope. The second one that's been flying around is, I applaud Squex for doing this because it helps limit spending, and it helps curb gambling addiction and appetites, right? Like, thank you, Big Brother Squex, for watching my money and wallet for me, right? Holy shit, I think that's even worse than the first one. That's stupid. When has a company ever wanted you to spend less money?
Squex is not your friend, and they don't certainly care about your gambling addiction.
Corporations are not your friends, first of all, but we also have that story from a long time ago where Decrypt, a huge whale with a huge spending problem, for some reason asked Squex to lock his account from buying purchases because he couldn't control himself. Very, very bad, by the way.
Yeah.
And Josh brought it to the higher ups, and they said, "Fuck no! Why would we do that? Why would we stop him from spending more money on the game?" Right? Like, so it's a very odd decision. Like, I'm not gonna say all signs point to end of service, but I just don't understand the business move at all. It's unprecedented. What kind of successful product or company says, "Hey, spend a little less," right? And like, let's limit the product you can get. Like, please don't buy all the shoes in my shoe store or whatever. Like, it's a little ridiculous. I very much look forward to hearing their reasoning, first of all. Yeah. But back to the main point, regardless of the reasoning to do this, this was handled extremely poorly. There is no way they did not fucking anticipate backlash.
Come on, right?
Like, there's no fucking way they did not anticipate any backlash. If, like, they should have had a statement prepared instead of having to need Josh to come out and say, "Hey, we're gonna fucking like please, it takes some time to prepare a statement." Why do you need to prepare a statement?
Right? I mean, that's the big misplay here, and that's not on Josh, right? I mean,
right.
Like, he's literally the messenger. He's doing other things. This isn't his only gig, being our community manager, but within Squex. But yeah, I mean, this is really, like, how do you not know that there's going to be questions? And we talked about it last week, kind of pre and post show. And we were like, okay, we'll wait to see how it implements in JP. Right? Like, we'll wait and see what they say on Ope Ope. We'll wait and see how it's actually played out. But because we thought, oh, we're not going to worry about this for 10 months. Well, now it's today. And yeah, it's somewhat worrying because usually we don't get things like 1 month after JP gets them, good or bad. So yeah, like, it's a little concerning. And to not think there would be any outcry, any concern, and this is not like, oh, I don't like the character you chose. I mean, this is literally like you're attacking your major donors, your major investors when it comes to this game. So like I just don't understand why it just makes zero sense. Thank you, JD Terraforce, for the subscription. We're at 3 subs. Again, 3 subs, YouTube memberships, super chats up to $5, divisible by $5. We'll get to 40. I will pull, probably on Greg, but I'm not gonna buy his costume. And that's the thing. I wasn't even planning to pull on Gilgamesh. I'm not planning to pull on Rem. What other costumes this month that's new? Who am I missing?
There is one more. Shit. It was Gilgamesh, Rem, and shoot. Where's the timeline?
Theodore, Cyan, Layla doesn't have
Theodore
one.
gets a new costume.
Theodore does get a good and it's a good costume. But yeah, so I was considering 2 or 3 of the costumes, even for characters I wasn't going to pull. Obviously, if there's weapon glosses, I like to pick up the weapon glosses. I was considering, hey, maybe I should pick up, 1 or 2 more, Hiermer or BT plus packs. And even before the change, I'm not going to, because I don't know what's happening, right? And I certainly don't need to.
Mod pass till we figure out what's going on, right?
Exactly. No, yeah, I'll let my Mog Pass go. Because I want to. I mean, I got 15 days. Hopefully, we'll hear something. But if we don't, I mean, it's just going to fester in a way that's not very helpful. And it better not fester in the way of, oh, we'll get back to you, and then we still haven't heard about Vincent. And again, I don't care about Vincent. Vincent was fine. That was whatever. But I mean, this is potentially costing them money right now. It's costing you money, Squex, right now. Like, I need you to, Mr. President, I need you to hear this. It's costing you money today. We're like, quite a few people, and probably more, aren't buying the dumb costume tonight because we don't know what's happening. It's costing you money today, right now, February 24th, 2022. $40 from me, $40 from Mino, $40 from Nidre. How many other people that we know? No money today. Right now, it's costing you money. And it's going to continue to cost you money. And the longer I'm separated from that, the less I'm going to buy, right? I mean, it just makes no sense. It's bad business. Yeah.
Sorry, circling back.
Thank you, Soraya.
First, Drez wants to know if his counted because a notification didn't pop up when he subbed. So I'm not sure if that came in.
No, I didn't ever get a notification from Drez. I mean, it says you sub, but you may have subbed earlier than the show. So yeah, I mean, we'll count it. That's fine.
Yeah, and then addressing a lot of chat who is trying to ask me to elaborate. Yeah, no, sorry, I was gonna go more into my idea. Mark just hit a second win there. No, don't worry, I'll finish it off. Right. Would I say it's dev incompetent? No, it's like a marketing or producing incompetence thing. First of all, like it feels underhanded. This was deliberately not addressed on the streams or anything. This was snuck in the in-game notices, and they've had multiple opportunities to address it on the stream. It feels underhanded to me. It feels like if this was on the up and up, they would have talked about it. And if it really was about transparency, there's plenty of games that are transparent and talk about why they shift business decisions. Lots and lots of games talk about why they change business models. Even fucking Avengers talks about when they change up their microtransactions and battle pass and stuff. So it's very, very fucking odd that they just slipped this into the game notices, hope we didn't notice, and then, kept on going. So that already builds a lot of bad faith with me. I feel like that was handled very, very fucking poorly. Not having any transparency, not having a message ready is handled very, very, very poorly. again, Josh has zero. He doesn't make any of these decisions, so it's not his fault. But Josh's message was let's be real, big old PR pile of shit. Of hey, please be patient and wait for a response. I am relaying your feedback to the devs as we speak. First of all, that's his job. He does that every day. He's just telling me. He's just telling me, hey, I showed up to work today. Like him telling me he will tell the devs. Doesn't tell me anything. He's supposed to do that every day, anyways.
Right.
And then he said, we may or may not have a response for you. So that's basically saying, hey,
great.
we'll look into it. Stop bothering me. It's basically like, hey, keep it civil. Stop messaging me. I'm already telling them. Like, we might respond, we might not. You know, he gave the exact same answer when people were freaking out about Vincent. We never heard back, right? You remember? They're like, oh yeah, so the devs they hear your concerns about Vincent GL first LD being underwhelming, and we might look into giving him some more buffs on GL or tweaking things, but we also might not. So hang tight. Exactly 1 year later, nothing happened. So basically, when somebody specifically says we might not respond at all, that basically means they're not going to respond, most likely. So I wouldn't get your hopes up. It was a big old pile of nothing. Just a big stop fucking messaging me.
Yeah, right.
Which I don't blame him, right? Like, stop fucking messaging him. He can't fucking change anything. So that was handled poor. Well, that was not the part that was handled poorly.
Right.
The problem is that they didn't have a pre-paired message,
Exactly.
right? So we had to fucking do that. So like, this is all really shitty. They weren't transparent why they did it. It was really out of nowhere. It punishes people that spend, period. That's it, right? Like, this does not affect free to play at all. This only affects people who want to spend a lot of money. Makes zero fucking sense. And anyone who knows investments and stocks at all, like Mark said, as an investor, I don't want to spend anymore, right? Like, if any company suddenly said, if Apple came out and said, hey, instead of being able to buy like 5 iPhones, can you guys just buy one a year? Don't upgrade every year. If I was investing there, I would instantly fucking pull out and be like, what are they thinking? I'm out. I'm out.
Selling today.
Yeah. So even if this doesn't mean end of service, it's really shaken my confidence in them, because they handle this really poorly. And I think unless it's an amazing justification that none of us are seeing, it feels like a fucking boneheaded move. Bad PR, bad business decision. It's making me really not want to fucking spend, period. Like, even if they recover and the game's not ending, I'm really hesitant on spending anymore. So, like, I just feel like it's a shit move all around.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about the matter.
Yeah, thank you, Ritzo and Surya the Ranger, for subs. That brings us up to about 6. So we're at 6 of 40. Again, if we get to 40 subs, YouTube membership. If you want to become a YouTube member, it's only 99 cents. Or if you want to do a super chat, we'll do 1 for every 40 or 1 for every $5. So we're at 6. Thank you all for that. And yeah, we'll keep you up to date. We won't bitch and moan about this forever. We'll keep playing the game. We'll keep talking about the game. I think we both think it sucks, and I don't see any transparency, and we don't understand it, and we'd like to. We want to. Like, that's all we want. Like, we want, give us, this is a really big change that really does impact people who invest in your game. How can we do it? Like, how can we understand where you're coming from? That's what we want to know, because we want to keep investing in this game, hopefully for potentially years to come, but it's not looking good. But hey, I got 1.3 million jumps, so I don't need to invest for a while. If you don't want me to spend, I won't spend. There you go. Hey, but we did get some funner updates. If you go to the other red notice, we did get some quality of life. So one of them was really talked about at the there's a call ability quality of life, which it just shows you where the call is going. I guess that's exciting. I don't really know. Didn't really notice that, but it's there. So thank you. The big one, some people were excited about the debuff buff quality of life. So generic debuffs and generic buffs now have little symbols. So, are they attack up? Are they attack down? Are they max brave up? Are they max brave down, etc., etc.? So that whole list is there in that little thing. Cool. I mean, it's Japan's had this for a while, so it's fun. Mino, any thoughts about the debuff buff quality of life?
Yeah, I love it. This was something we all wanted.
Yeah.
It was even asked in the anniversary questions last year. Yeah, so very cool. Instead of a million buffs and having to click on all of them now, you can at least at a glance kind of eyeball what buff is on, unless you're somehow stacking like 5 different brave regen buffs. It'll be pretty easy to tell what buff is up. No, it's a great quality of life. I also heard, but I didn't see it in the notices unless I missed it, that they also implemented the Ultima Weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is. I thought they did put that in there, but that is in there as well.
I must have missed it. I didn't see it here.
So previously, and it really only comes into play because of ultimate weapons. So previously, if you went to your Garnet, where's your Garnet? I don't even know where my Garnet is. Yeah, if you went to your Garnet and you're like, I want to equip something else, or you want to equip your ultimate weapon, it would take it off and you would be stuck with a bronze weapon. So if I went to Papalymo and I tried to equip Garnet's ultimate weapon, it would have just left her with a bronze weapon, which is kind of annoying. Now it will automatically equip the best CP weapon available to that character. So that's much, much more useful. It's a nice quality of life that saves a little bit of time. So
jokes on you, Squex. I was thinking of investing in multiple Ultima weapons because this was so fucking annoying. But now I don't have to.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
No, I'm kidding. I love it. Great quality of life.
I was going to talk about costumes and sales, but I'm not going to because I don't think you should buy anything right now. So support us instead of Squex because we are transparent. We tell you that we love you and that we hate you, just like good parents do at the same time. So invest in us. We should also be getting some stream rewards. So definitely check out your stream rewards. Well, let's talk about content. Hey. There's content. There's content. There is content. Not much, but a little bit. And the first thing was the Lunar Tyrant raid event. So the end of the lock cycle had a raid event. We all love raid events with chaos co-ops. And if you bring full synergy to a chaos co-op, I think it's 450,000 points. So really not many co-ops to actually clear it. You need 4 million points to clear it. So, less than 10 co-ops. To clear all of the rewards. So pretty easy investment, and it wasn't a terrible co-op. Even if you had a weaker character, usually there was enough people. Usually there's enough people to help you out there. So we did get a couple new characters with this. Well, we got some updates and a new weapon. The update was to Dark Knight Cecil. He got his level 90. He becomes a little bit more usable, I suppose, as pretty much everybody does. Like it's the least exciting thing. But the nice thing about Dark Knight Cecil, his C90, is he now also gets his, I don't think he didn't have his LD boards, correct?
I think that is correct.
Because we were not able to use his call ability. So the nice thing about Dark Knight Cecil C90 is we now get his call ability, which is a HP damage up call ability. So if you're missing HP damage up, he's a nice one to pick up because I think he's about 20%. So on the lower end of the good HP up damage ups, but if you are missing, you don't have any of them. You don't have Fran, you don't have Kurasame, you don't have Gabranth. He's definitely a good one to pick up. There are a couple better ones. And it does do, thank you, Fen Ragnarok, it does do delay as well. So it's not a bad button to press. Other and sap, it does, I was going to say it does something else. It does sap. So it's a little bit, it's more than just the HP damage up. It also has the built-in sap and also does the delay on the LD use. Other than that, he just gets his normal C90 updates. You have anything to say about Dark Knight Cecil?
No.
Yeah. Some of these C90 characters we will talk about in more detail because they're a little bit cooler. But some of them, not many. But every once in a while, there will be one that's worth talking about. But the new character, who is on my screen, is the one, the only, the Black Mage from Final Fantasy XIV, I guess. I don't even remember him very much because he really wasn't in the game very much. Was he in the first one?
What?
Did you play 1.0?
Yeah, he was in 1.0.
Yeah. He was. They were like more prominent in that one, right? Than he ever was in the actual version that I've played, right? Because he really didn't show up very much. Belucky with a gifted sub. Thank you, Belucky, for that gifted sub. We're at 7. If you're keeping track, 7. 7 of 40. So not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, so I don't feel like I got to know him very well because he wasn't huge in Realm Reborn, and then he didn't make it real far into the next one, and he's not in the game anymore. So I mean they already spoiled that in Defo, so I think that's not a spoil. But he does get his LD, and if you're not familiar with Papalymo, he is based on the Black Mage class in Final Fantasy XIV. And that means he has 2 stances. He has a fire stance and a ice stance. And so he is a magic attacker with elemental attacks. He does not enchant the party or anything else, but he does do elemental damage. His new gimmick with his LD, which his LD is a big fat attack that puts him into fire stance, does a whole bunch of damage, gives him a free turn. And gives him this overhead, which he already had this overhead ability, which allowed him to get a free action. But it gives him another version. It also gives him a new buff, I believe, as well, which gives him a whole bunch of stuff, all those kind of buffs. And the big thing that he's able to do now with his gimmick is he can really take consecutive free turns. So he builds up. He starts with a free ability, so you can choose what stance. Obviously, you probably want to choose ice because that does the most damage initially. The attack does the most damage. Skill 2 does a lot more damage than Skill 1, Skill 2 plus. So if you're in fire stance, you can immediately do the ice stance, get that free skill. Then he has a fully charged EX by that point. His EX, of course, doing a lot of damage. That will be in whatever stance you're in. That gives you +1 to your little overhead thing. Then you get the Xenoglossy, which is the big attack, the free HP plus. That's a huge damage attack. You get another free turn after that. You can use his LD. That gives you another use of Xenoglossy. And so you can just stack consecutive turns and play around with that. So he is doing a significant amount of damage. As you see, mine has his ultimate weapon equipped. He does not have blue armor, and I was consistently doing 800,000 per action, consecutive turns in a row, millions of damage a turn with Papalymo. I believe it is all single target damage. There is splash on skill 1, but that is the worst ability. So most of his damage is single target, but it's significant as a magic damage dealer. We just had Strago, who's kind of the AoE magic dealer. Papalymo doing really good elemental magic damage. But free turns, consecutive turns, you're probably never going to hit foul again because that sucks, and you really want to try to avoid pressing skill 1 as much as possible. Thankfully, it is the LD that shoots you back into fire that unlocks skill 2 plus and all that kind of stuff. There is a little difference, but depending on what stance you're in, fire stance is attack up, max brave up. Umbral stance is just minimal max brave up, I brave up, and brave regen based on I brave. So you would think fire stance is a little bit better to be in, but in practice, in the content we've had so far, it's not really made a difference. Oh no, I don't have blue Papa. I don't. Sorry. I'm just blue in favorites. He don't need to be blue. He's that good. That's what I'm saying, J.A. He's that good. Imagine if your Papa's blue. So good. Millionaire Club. Black Nero. Everybody check out Black Nero on YouTube. Black Nero. Where's my camera? BC. Why isn't Papalymo in the Millionaires Club? He's doing 1 million damage. Why is he not in the Millionaires Club?
He's doing 1 million damage on what skill?
What
skill?
I've not broken it. I've not broken it.
Yeah, that's what I.
But no, J.A. If you have his blue armor and you got your 4 out of 5 ultimate weapon, J.A. you can probably break 1 million, can't you? I mean, I've broken 800,000 with him, so
I don't think you can break 1,000,000.
you don't think you?
The most dumps he has is 6. You can't do it. No, I think somebody actually asked this in our Discord, and we did the math. No, it's not possible for him to do it in one skill.
But he gets 3 consecutive turns, so I mean that kind of counts, right? That kind of counts. Do you count people who do AOE damage like they get 1 million across skills? I don't know. Anyway, he's good. He's good. He's fun. It's fun to press buttons over and over again and do damage. It's fun to not give people turns in co-op. That's fun as well.
Oh, hang on. JP just got their in-game report regarding the cap.
Oh, crap.
Let's see. Breaking news. Just interrupt really quickly. About setting the maximum number of paid gems. Thank you, BC, for throwing this my way. Starting today's update, there will be an upper limit on the number of paid gems you have. This setting is based on company policy, and the maximum paid gem at DFOO is now 300,000 gems. Of course, for paid gems over 300,000, they will not disappear, and users who have more than 300,000 paid gems after the update will not be able to purchase gems until the number of paid gems is less than 300,000. In addition, DFFOO will preferentially consume free gems so as not to disadvantage users, but there are no plans to change the preferential consumption from paid gems for the purpose of encouraging the purchase of gems. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by the restrictions on gem purchases due to this upper limit setting, but we appreciate your understanding. We look forward to your continued support of Opera Omnia. So, in short, this was just something decided by the company to set the limit, and that's it.
It's just one of many bad decisions.
It's just a really bad decision. There's no law or regulation or nothing like that. This is just quote unquote company policy. Let's limit gems. This is how it's gonna be. Thanks for understanding. This is really just, I'm sorry, it really makes me not want to spend, right? Because I'm already past that cap.
Yeah.
So what am I doing? Either I lose value or I literally can't buy the bundles. So at this point, like, what are we doing here? Right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But Raw Life, no end of service announced. But if those of us who spend a lot of money on the game can't spend money on the game, what's the outlook? Like, what's the business plan? Like,
Thalassa says, no, seriously, if it's company policy, are they limiting how much people can spend in FF14? No, Thalassa, because the company running Defo is Team Ninja. Squex are publishers. So this is very, very specifically a Defo thing. They said it. They said very specifically it is a Defo thing, not a Squex gotcha thing. Not a Squex thing. It's Opera Omnia specifically.
Huh. Well, that doesn't tell us a lot besides it's just...
It tells us that this is here to stay for the foreseeable future. Unless somehow everyone is so angry that they reverse this policy, this is what they're deciding on.
Well, they're gonna find out probably the next quarter report. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's bad. I don't know who do we need to talk to, Joshua? Let us know. Like, get us in contact with people who are in charge of stupid policies. Oh wow. So Papa Lamo, Mino, what's your thoughts on Papa?
Oh man, what a fun character. Lately it seems like we're either getting fun characters or strong characters, and Papa is both. I've been having a blast with him. So much. There's a lot of arguing about stances. I really don't care. I think Fire is a little better. He does have splash on S1, Fire EX, and the Brave, Foul. So he does have a good amount of AoE. But I think it's only a DPS
only 2 HP attacks on skill 1. Foul is 1 HP attack. So yeah, I mean, your max cap is pretty low.
I think it results in a DPS gain if it's 3 targets. I
Okay,
think if it's
sure.
3 targets, fire will win barely. But like you said, that's the only differentiation. I personally prefer ice because of the refund. It gives you a big fat brave refund based on damage dealt. So it always sets him up. Well, at least in current content, he's capped for his next turn, right? So I do prefer the ice whenever possible. Um, what Mark forgot to mention is his new gimmick is he gets those stacks. I forgot what they're called, but you build 10 of them and you get stack
Polygot.
poly. And
Polygot
then
stacks. Yep.
is the buff called polyglot?
Oh, no. His stacking buff. Polygot's the
Right, right,
little
right.
the arrow. You're talking about his new LD buff, which right, you're correct. I completely forgot that. It is
Oh,
a
it's Ino-chan, right? So Ino-chan, it builds on everyone's turns. So
yeah,
he gets rewarded if you um have run him with turn hoggers, or if you run him against enemies that take a lot of turns. Like
yeah,
the best part is he doesn't need to handle it himself. And there's some sort of like interaction with party members and the
yeah.
bosses, right? Very, very, very
Yeah,
great.
so
I love it.
every time someone takes an action, that goes up by 1 stack. As soon as it hits 10 stacks, it gives him a stack of Polygot. So, I mean, that's really cool. So yeah, if you do run Papillamo with another turn hogger, someone who can take consecutive turns, it's really, it does really help. So
Right. So I do like that. I mean, so first of all, no wonder they had to time travel Alice, because
yeah,
everything I even think is positive about Alice, which is not a lot. I think she's a piece of shit character, probably the worst in the game.
yeah,
Papa does better. Huge magic damage, consecutive turns, except that you have a lot of control. Bouncing between 2 different magic stances, except there, for some reason, you're building some arbitrary number. Here, it's just switch to the stance. Feels much better, feels much cleaner, and much more control because the instant turns are, the consecutive turns are guaranteed, right? Like, when you want to take consecutive turns, you do. With Alice, who fucking knows where her turn's gonna end up? It's all high turn rate. I think only the EX is instant. So she's jumping all over the place, and people have really like wiped on orbs because she's taken
yeah.
so many fucking turns and not checked the orb. Papa Limo,
All
like
controlled. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of these recent fights, I think Edgar IW plus this most recent Lufania plus wipes you out if you take 5 consecutive turns. Which, by the way, I love. This should be a regular thing. They should definitely punish this. Papa Limo can handle this very, very easily. I can easily control every time his turn comes up. I can get exactly 5 turns and then pass the baton, right? Like, it feels so good to have so much control, so much damage, and a lot of free turn. Like, it's just fucking amazing. Like, they needed a time travel Alice because Alice would look so shitty coming 2 months after Papa Limo. I don't think she does as much damage or has nearly as much control. It's almost pathetic. So he feels so fucking good. And like I said, he interacts with the team. Love the Ino-chan stack building. Love the his 2 stances are either going to be pure Brave Shave or Brave Refund, Brave Gains between hits. Lot of flexibility. Just so much fun overall. I underestimated how much fun he'd be. I fucking love it. You know me, guys. I have a hard-on for decision points. This character's all about those decision points, and I've recommended to some of my friends who are newer players, and big hit, right? Like,
yeah.
great, fantastic character. As far as LD only DPS goes, he is pretty close to cream of the crop in my
Oh yeah.
opinion.
Oh yeah.
I
No,
don't think there are any. I don't think there are many LD only DPS that can hold a candle up to him at this point.
And right, his ability, because right now, I mean, it's all about how fast can you do damage, and his ability to do damage quickly is definitely, wonderful. And if you pair him with, again, another fast turn character or a burst character, he's going to build up stacks within the burst and all that kind of stuff. So he's going to come out and do even more damage after that, which is really nice. So, I like him. Mino likes him, and you should definitely pull, but don't spend any money to do so. Hey, you can check out all of the infographics we're going to talk about tonight on TonberryTroupe.com if you are interested in specific details or the opinions of the Tonberry Troupe. Shout out to Tonberry Troupe, TonberryTroupe.com. Beautiful infographics, Pablo Mo. Looking pretty good there, I will say. And shout out to J.A, big Pablo Mo fan, and Quetzalma and Materiabot for the podcast polls. Over 13 servers. 2 people, Pity and Lock, BT. 16 people, full pity. Full pity, Papa Mo. 10 using gems, 139 tickets, and 85 skipping. A lot of love for Papa. And there should be. He's a lot of fun to play and a pretty fun character in general. So, yeah, very cool. There was an event. It is the Lunar Tyrant Lufania. You fight a Lunar Tyrant, and that's a Bahamut-type character. He has, he spawns a Hope mannequin. You know, Hope. The little, my mom's dead kid. Spoilers. I'm not really sure the mechanics where, you kill Hope, he respawns him, he's on the left side. You kill Hope, he respawns him, he's on the right side. I don't know if there's a different reason for Hope being on different sides, or does he spawn 2 Hopes? I don't know. But all I know is you kill Hope. I did this several times. All I know is you kill Hope, and then he respawns Hope, but he's on the other side. So I don't know if that does anything. Other than that, the orb's pretty simple. You need to do 300,000 damage or more on a second consecutive action. So, for example, Papa gets a free turn, then he takes his free turn and does 300,000 damage. Once you do that, the orb disappears. It goes up first, which was weird. Like, it goes up by 10 and then disappears. So, and it comes back, I think, once.
No, there's several thresholds. He can come. He's resummoned at least 3-4 times, I believe.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the orb.
Oh, sorry. No, I also think that comes back as many times as Hope does. I almost want to say it came back more than once for sure, but it disappears almost instantly.
Yeah, no, it disappears on that. Yeah, when the orb goes above 15. Oh, when the orb oh, thank you. That makes sense. Some girl, Samege from the live stream Monday night. Check out the live stream. Thank you for that clarification. Yes, so that's why it disappears. So once it's above 15, it automatically is canceled. But you can generally do that by doing that, by taking a consecutive turn and doing 300,000 damage. Obviously, Papa's really good at that, but we have a lot of characters who can do that. And so, every time the orb comes, it does seem to disappear every time. So, Demon is saying the orb seems to appear each time his recast is ready. Forced recast is ready at 79 and 49%. So, I'm not sure that I ever gave him a turn, because why would you? He doesn't have any HP. So, he does have a big, powerful Bahamut attack, so make sure you bring damage mitigation if you want to take it, but I'm not really sure why you would take it. That being said, we have seen a lot of challenge runs and a lot of BT list runs and a lot of green list runs. Mino, any other experience with this fight? I don't think it's the most challenging.
So Meggy pointed out all you need to do is hit an AA and then an HP attack, and that'll check the orb too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for that clarification. Yeah, any next action that you do, so you have to take one action and then get a next action. So any free turn, consecutive turn like AA will count as 1, and you'll see the number. It says 1, and then on the second turn you can do 300,000 or more, which most of our characters can do fairly easily. An HP attack for 300,000 damage or more, and the orb is most likely gone. Yeah. Anything else, Mino, from this fight?
Nah.
All right. Well, as we transition from this event to the event we haven't played yet, which is, we'll talk about this in a second. It's freaking map. It's freaking Act 3 map. What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't find that for the longest time. I was like, where is this fucking shit?
What the hell is going on? But just a reminder, thank you all for watching. A couple different things if you're just joining us. Check back and listen to all of our ranting about the purchase gem controversy. We did do some updates, but we are doing a sub campaign. So if you want to become a YouTube member, it's only 99 cents. If you want to sub on Twitch, if you want to gift subs on Twitch, do super chat on Twitch, $5 per super chat. or $5 for a tick towards 40, and I will pull on banner using gems to pity. If you want to watch me do that, we're at 6, so we have a long way to go. I'll be happy not to spend gems, believe me. That would be okay, but I know you like me to watch me spend resources, so there you go. Final Fantasy, as we, community spotlight, all that, shout out to XenoDeFo. XenoDeFo, our good friend XenoDeFo, just completely ripping off my tier list, like tick for tick. So good on him. You know what they say, imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery or something. What's that quote? So I'm going to take it like that. But Xeno's with us. But yeah, just completely ripping off my my resource tier list. Not even like trying to do something. But do check out Xeno. His format's a lot prettier than mine, which pisses me off because now I'm gonna have to up my game next month. Callie said, I told him not to rip you guys off. No, it's okay. As BC says, the more the merrier. That's why I'm not pissed off that we got the ranting hour, and we got the Historia Crux, and we got the live stream, and we got the fireside chat, and we got the Lost My Way outline is a mess hour. I don't know what that show's called. It's a new one, so give me a couple weeks. Simply Lost, and we'll figure out what the heck your show's called. FYI, it's not a podcast until I can listen to it on Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, or Google Play. But I love it. I love it. I don't know why all of you are ripping us. This talk show format that we developed 4 years ago. Now. But I love it. I love it. And everybody's kind of got their, not everybody, but, generally speaking, there's some different kind of formats, and everybody just got their own little thing to it. So I'm okay. I'm okay with different opinions, different approaches. And so do check out our good friend XenoDeFo on the YouTube. Gemlock, I'm so angry. I can't buy anything. I need to spend money. It makes me happy to spend money. Did you see what I bought at Disneyland? It makes me happy to spend money. I hate money. Money is worthless and meaningless unless it's bringing you happiness. And if I can't spend money, I'm going to be pissed off, especially when Tifa and Aerith get their dresses and Rinoa gets a new costume. I'm going to be pissed off. I'm not going to be happy. Not going to be happy. So it's not going to be good. Hey, Yin, thank you. Oh, no, TXB Gaming. Thank you to TXB Gaming or XenoDeFo gifting a sub to Yin using all of the money from his ill-gotten gains from the many views that he's going to get using my idea. Thank you. That, we just we just share the love around here, and I appreciate that. But seriously, do check out our good friend Xeno, who has been on the show and probably will be again if we don't ban him forever. But we did have a supporters corner. So if you are gifted a sub, or if you are subbing or become a YouTube member, I do have some exclusive videos. So if you're a YouTube member, 99 cents, I do some videos just for YouTube members. I'm not really sure that I can make it so that Twitch subs can figure it out. It is what it is. Just some different platforms, right? But all of you, regardless, can join some of our exclusive chats. We have a TCC supporter chat, which is kind of our VIP section, which we just hang out and talk about. And then we have our podcast supporters corner, and our TCC intern, Poto Cedar, always does a question of the week. This week's question: how did you find out about DeFo? How did you find out about DeFo? So a few answers from our good friends. Black Nero on YouTube says, I was searching for Zach gifts and I saw his victory animation in chibi style. Sold it. Blartanian Blark DeFo, a good friend from the live stream, says a YouTube ad. I have a whole video on that. Tree Void, former Kingdom Hearts Union YouTuber Smelly Octopus. Shout out to our friend Smelly Octopus. Did a showcase of the game back on launch. Nidre, Faux Tip, FFOO tip, Faux Tip.
Like Q-tip.
Yeah, like Q-tip. faux tip.
Foo-
Foo tip. Feel like Q-tip. Faux tip. Vowels are hard. Why is English so hard? Seriously, Black Nero on the ranting hour said, "Yeah, I gotta consider moving this back to bi-weekly." And why the hell does bi-weekly mean both twice a week and once every other week? Like, what the hell is wrong with our language? Our language is the worst language. I apologize to every single one of you that English is your second language. You are better people than me because it's a
skill
terrible
issue,
language.
Mark. English is all about context. Actually, a lot of languages are about context. Japanese is very, very context heavy, but like that's a skill issue. You can't really say because two words are the same. Like you got to take it in context, right? Like I threw my son into the sun.
No. But specifically bi-weekly, like like in context, I'm going to move the show bi-weekly. End of sentence.
Context said he's getting tired and he needs to stream less, so he's gonna do bi-weekly. Less than once a week is once every 2 weeks.
That's fair.
Mark,
that's
all right,
fair.
you gotta use.
That's fair. There was context.
You gotta use the context.
There was context there. That is there. Yeah, but you do need the context. Worry Chat Frog said I played NT. Hey, shout out to NT. Red Cane says I used to play FFBE. Bunch of posts about it. J.A says YouTube ad. Saw Zach's event. Mouse says saw YouTube ad. Lots of YouTube. Hey, Defo, Team Ninja, where are those YouTube ads? I love them. I know you love them. I mean, you don't love our money. You hate us, I guess. You got policies. I love policies. Why do your policies suck? I don't know. Indolent Lard says, I saw the NT Buster Sword code on my Dissidia NT. Blind Eye says, FFB friends. What?
I literally discovered Opera Omnia from the NT Special Edition. Like, they had the code there. I was like, oh shit, I guess this is a thing. That's literally how I discovered Opera Omnia too, yeah.
Teleute says, finished perfect save on FF8 and search for Final Fantasy on Google Play. Asteroid Squall was here and he's strong, and that's how Tonberry Troupe was formed. Final Asim says Google Play Store showed the app for registration when it was supposed to be released. Yin says NT Buster Sword code. Daniel says looking for more FF gains, animation like FF4 remake. I liked. Soraya the Ranger said I brought by a friend, doesn't play much anymore. Stray Beat says watch regular streamer checking out the game. C-Sam says Facebook group called Dungeons of Chaos mentioned Van was back on the Ash event. Raw Life said my brother showed it to me because we love Final Fantasy, but he quit shortly after Summon Board, and now he calls his brother a soft ass casual. We don't speak anymore. K9 Word says I was searching for a new game after FF15 Pocket Edition came out. Hooked ever since. Bishop says like Treevoid, watch Smelly Octo. Casisis says played the game after finding out FF7 remake DLC is limited to PS5 and wanted to scratch my FF7 itch. Interesting. Mr. Clean, Summon Biscuits, random ad on Instagram. I think that's Instagram, IG. That was a joke. Goose says, I saw an ad for Zonde. Nidre says, I saw his ad for Aiko costume. Come on. Artistic Asian saw the ad on Google Play. Crush was looking for a new game to play after stopping Record Keeper and found Defo. Me too. JD Terraforce said, girlfriend at the time, now fiance, forwarded me an email from Square Enix about the launch. Good girlfriend. I know why you married her or are marrying her. Marry her, definitely. Good pickup. I'm not sure I would found it otherwise, though my brother also plays Defo. That's why I'm a day one player. Awesome. Well, thank you all for answering, and appreciate all of your support. Appreciate all of you for supporting us. Well, we don't have any experience with what's coming up next, but what just launched a couple hours ago is Act 3, Chapter 6, Part 1. And if you're not familiar with Act 3, here's Act 3, the Act 3 map. And we were like, Chapter 2's up there, Chapter 1's up there. Here's Chapter 4. We're on Chapter 6. Chapter 5 was right here. Here's Chapter 6. Whole different part of the freaking world map. I don't think we've ever had a map so big and space so large because it's about a different party. So we just had this awesome story about Edgar. What a complex character, emotionally depth, great intersecting will. And now we got a Final Fantasy II freaking story. And oh, wait, Arden's in it too because what's the opposite of emotional depth? Final Fantasy II characters with Arden. But no, it's a Final Fantasy II chapter. I believe the boss is Hell Emperor. I don't know because I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Not the first half.
Oh, no, that's the second half. Okay, so I don't know what the Lufania is for this. I guess we'll talk about it next week. I'm sure it's
Horsemen
not hard.
People.
Oh, that's right. It's the horse, the headless knights, the knights with the fire.
Yeah.
The horse guys. Oh, they're fun. They're fun. You're gonna murder them with Garnet and Machina and whoever else. It doesn't matter. Bring anybody you want. But we get 4. Wow. We get 4 different. I haven't even done my free pulls. We get 2 different banners. The first banner is Kefka. Kefka comes back with his BT plus, and Guy comes back with his C90. And maybe LD boards for Guy. I don't know. Guy gets a whole bunch. We'll start with Guy. He gets a whole bunch of dumps, extra HP attacks on all his skills. He's garbage. This banner's so bad. I'm sorry. Like we can get into he's not so bad. He just got a lot of HP attacks. But again, he's like there's like 6 characters right now who do things better than him. And if you need a defensive character, there's about a half a dozen coming out here in the next month and a half who are so superior to Guy that you're just not ever going to use him. He just, I don't know what they could do to make him better. They did give him a lot more HP dumps, so that's nice. But besides that, I guess he gets a little bit more party support, although I don't necessarily know that it's a lot of party support. But I'm not particularly impressed. Oh, he does get a little bit more party support. Just that nice little extra buff with his super AA. But other than that, Guy is the defensive Earth Enchanter quasi support. I guess he kind of does okay damage now. But he's a lock tank. He locks the opponents. But not a great investment. I wouldn't pull on this banner. But Mino, anything about Guy?
No, he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. He's awful. Kefka gets his Burst Plus. He gets a C92. So if you're a big Kefka fan, you're probably going to green Kefka. I'm sorry. I mean, I have a green Golbez, so I mean, you guys made me do it, but I never used him, and that's going to be what your Kefka experience is. He literally gets like HP damage up and more Brave damage up, and like that's all he gets with his BT plus. If you're not familiar with his BT effect, it was HP damage up per debuff. Now he gets Brave damage up per debuff. It's a significant amount of Brave damage up, but it just doesn't matter, right, at this point. And then he does get some HP damage limit, but it's not as good as Garnet's. He has a lot of debuffs, though, which is not useful in this game at all. But they are good. I mean, they're good debuffs. But I know Mino likes Kefka. I have Kefka's full kit. I've used him off and on. He does have the HP attack disable, which is nice. But other than that, not his strongest iteration. Mino, any differing thoughts on Kefka?
Nah, he sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all 4 of these characters are fucking awful.
Yeah, this is a terrible.
I couldn't even. I can't recommend any of these fucking characters to any of my friends who just picked up the game, even if they need to build a roster. I took the hour before. I already finished the story chapter. I did the challenge quest. I have all the LDs, everything to 90. I tried everyone out. They are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that as we finish covering.
Yeah, BC and Cross 13 were talking about building roster, I think, with you and Ink as well, a little bit on the Ranting Hour last night. It's not really as important as maybe we talk about it. It's really just more important to collect good characters as opposed to holes in your roster. I mean, you probably want some calls that can cleanse or some calls that can do this. But at the end of the day, the loss is just saying, yeah, the best part about these banners is you can skip them. You don't have to. You don't have to pull on them. So the other banner, the feature banner, brings us Rosa C90, and I'm gonna ban Eamon one of these days if he keeps telling people that Rosa's okay. I just want to clarify for everybody that I am a Rosa fan. I do really like Rosa. She is one of my favorite characters. I don't think that's a good decision, like on my part, to do that. But I have a blue Rosa, a fully sphered blue Rosa. She's not good. Like, no, mine's not level 90 yet. But even with level 90, she's not good. Like, her re-raise ability completely crept by Aiko, who you don't have to have a freaking buff on. She just re-raises everybody. Not to mention that half of the characters coming out here in the next 2 months basically just prevent you from dying. Layla is coming out, who prevents you from dying, and Zack's coming out, who prevents you from dying, and then Snow's coming out, and he prevents you from dying. Technically, Locke can prevent you from dying, and Aiko just re-raises you without having the stupid buff on. So when you're running Rosa and Popula Mo and you burn through her buff and you die, yeah. So what were
you said this? You said this last week. I just wanted to make sure. I thought I misheard. You know that Log doesn't prevent you from dying, right?
No, right. But he doesn't prevent you from dying, correct? But he can prevent you from taking not, I guess, not lethal hits, but he can help you in the not dying field, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
just checking.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that better than he does have that ability where your HP will jump back up, right?
Yeah. But like, it's not like a party last stand or anything. If it's lethal,
no,
it's lethal.
Correct. If it's lethal, it's lethal. Yes,
it's just a heal. It's just a heal.
Right. So it's definitely not. It's not re-raise, and it's not what Aiko does. Aiko and Rosa are the re-raise characters, right? They are the characters that bring you back from the dead. But there is a lot of damage mitigation and tanking in current kits and in future kits that really make re-raise unnecessary at this point. That being said, Rosa also gets a couple other buffs here and there. Yeah, she batteries, she heals, she supports, but there's just a lot of other people who do it better. So, I'll use her, but I wouldn't suggest anybody else do for any reason whatsoever, unless she's an absolute favorite. And if she is an absolute favorite, I suggest you get better favorites. And I'm talking as someone who she is an absolute favorite. Pick better.
She sucks, Mark.
So bad.
Her damage in synergy is a fucking
joke. No, it's bad. Yeah,
half her kit is hitting. Holy shit, something really low. I think she struggles to break 100k. I think her LD maybe does like 200k. It's so fucking bad. Like, her auras are competitive. I was actually checking out all 4 characters. I'm gonna say, hey, Rosa's C90 is not bad. Like, her auras are competitive, and she heals well, and she does all this. Then I took her into battle, and her damage is fucking atrocious. Holy shit. Like, worse than Kefka's, worse than Guy's. The guy doing the stuff in chat is saying Rose is probably the best of the 4. I highly disagree, because she's eating your turns and doing 100k damage instead of, like every other support in the world. Like, I think Aiko can comfortably do like 400k easy. I don't know, but like, oh my god, I can't recommend any of these fucking characters. Guy and Gao do more damage, and Kefka too, but holy fuck, they're all terrible, terrible, terrible. But go ahead.
Well, that brings us to the man of the hour, and that is Gilgamesh with his Final Fantasy VIII costume. That's fun. Don't buy it, though. So, yeah, I don't even know if it's worth talking about what Gilgamesh did before this, because he kind of just has always sucked in this game. But he gets a LD and a BT and a BT+, and his LD really does completely change his kit in one sense. His LD gives him a special Wanderer of the Rift buff, and while he has that buff active, every single turn at the beginning of the turn, he gets a special HP attack. And it is a random special HP attack based on one of 4 weapons that exist in the game. I always forget which ones they are. I think it's Ramza, Cloud, Onion Knight, and Paladin Cecil. Are those the 4? I may be wrong there. It's Icebrand, Apocalypse, Mythgraven Blade, and Royal Sword. From 3 is Onion Knight, 4 is Paladin Cecil, 7 is Cloud, and yes, Icebrand is Ramza. There we go. So each one kind of does the same thing in terms of damage. It's a free action, consecutive action, so you it extends all your buffs by 1 turn, which is nice. And then it reverts back. So you basically get a free attack every turn, and every single attack does something different in terms of utility. The Onion Knight one moves allies' turns after Gilgamesh. It does not give them a free skill use like Onion Knight. The Paladin Cecil one heals the party, and the Cloud one delays all enemies 2 turns, and the Icebrand launches the target, makes the other targets launchable. So 4 different types of utility. It's random, but it's fun. So basically, if you're not familiar with Gilgamesh, he just pulls out a different sword every turn, and then he can do his other things, like he can use his skill 1, his skill 2, he can use his EX. They all do okay damage, I guess. Skill 1's pretty rough, but skill 2 and EX is doing okay. That also delays the enemies and restores skills 1 or 2. He's not running out of skills. His BT is a big fat attack, but the big thing, it does do HP damage up 30% if it's BT+, which is competitive with Garnet. The problem is it is 12 turns, which is good. But 12 turns for Gilgamesh is potentially only 6 turns, because every time you press that special beginning of the turn HP attack, that's going to eat into one of your turns. So if you want to run him as support, HP damage up, and that's all the support he's doing. Like, he's not doing much. He's doing brave damage up, considerable brave damage up, HP damage up, HP limit, and overflow. That's his only support. He's not doing like any other party support. So you're going to have to run some other support too. You might want to not press his special attacks because they eat into those turns. So he is really one of these characters that does a lot of different things okay, but doesn't do any of them specifically the best. Like, each of those characters, like Ramza's going to do what Ramza does better than Gilgamesh. Cloud with his C90 will do what Cloud does better than Gilgamesh. Paladin Cecil, well, maybe not Paladin Cecil, but there are certainly better healers. And Onion Knight, yeah, well, okay, maybe Onion Knight doesn't do what he does better than Gilgamesh, but a lot of utility, a lot of different types of utility, which can be fun. I don't know how competitive his damage is. I don't think he's going to be real high on the damage list. I think there's going to be a lot of people above Gilgamesh on the damage list, but I don't have experience with him to know one way or the other. But he just seems like a jack of all trades, master of none. And if that's the kind of character you like, great. But in this game, it generally, in my experience, I'd rather have a primary damage dealer, a primary support, a primary attack, a primary utility character, as opposed to kind of a random Swiss Army knife of a character. Mino?
I think Gilgamesh is a very, very fun character. I think I'll start with the positives. I think Gilgamesh is a blast to play.
Yeah.
And I think he is RNG done right. I had a little rant a year ago about how shitty RNG, like what is good RNG and what is bad RNG. And back then, I believe I used like Waka as the example of, like, before his LD, it was just, hey, you have a high % chance to apply these 4 or 5 buffs, and then you need a check for each one, and you're supposed to function with all of them on, but there's just a chance to miss it because why the fuck not? Let's just gamble, right? Or like he had some other status effects, I believe, too, that were just completely random for no fucking reason other than to be just not guaranteed. That's the worst kind of RNG. Fucking hated it. So somebody asked me, so then what's a good implementation of RNG? And I said, if it does a base level of one thing and every RNG aspect is just a little extra, like Ace's cards, right? Ace's EX back in the day was that it always did that EX damage, and it always gave a base amount of attack up or whatever buff, and then everything else was extra. It either gave you a small heal or some like regen or whatever, right? And I was like, this is good RNG, very high base level, RNG effects are just seen as bonus. Not like shit ass fucking pre-LD Waka where it's just like, I really need this thing. I hope I get it, man. Oh, I missed. Haha, how fun. But Gilgamesh is the perfect amount of good RNG because all of his HP pluses, there's 4 different ones, 25% chance each. At base level, they all do the same thing. Same amount of potency, same amount of hits, same amount of dumps, same amount of splash. The only difference is there's a little added utility, and it's a free consecutive turn, right? So you always want to press it, and whatever comes with it is really good. He either gets a launch, a delay, a heal, I think some batteries, etc. So this is what I think is good RNG. It's kind of just like, oh, every turn, it'll be a pleasant surprise what I get. Nothing you get is ever bad. It's all usable. It's all a bonus. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy the kit a lot. But now I'm also starting to I think Gilgamesh is helping me realize why we're in garbage time. Because so I was playing with him. I was like, oh, his damage is pretty decent, right? Like his damage is pretty consistent because of all the free turns. You know, the free turns are like 200 plus K added on to whatever his main turn will do, and then if you have like an Ultima Weapon or HP cap up, it's probably more than that. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty decent damage across the board. Then I realized my Gilgamesh is taking like 20 fucking turns. And then I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, if orbs were lethal, this would be a problem. Then I realized, wait a minute, is this why orbs aren't lethal? And then I looked at the rest of the characters releasing during garbage time, and many, many, many of them are consecutive free turn care. We have so many of them. Like Papa, Alice, let me pull up the list, but it's a fuck ton of them, right? Like let's see who else we got. We got Tidus comes back, Rem. Here we go. Ramza's got the like there's a shit ton we're getting from here till Shinryu. And I was like, is this why orbs aren't lethal anymore? Because I think we discussed a long time ago, mid Lufania, early Shinryu Plus, that because of how the orbs work, because they tick down no matter what, even on free consecutive turns, speedsters and turn hoggers were falling out of favor. Like I said, Alice was blowing up orbs because she was just taking so many turns and she couldn't check these orbs that she's doing. And it's like, really, when orbs were lethal and strict, turn hoggers were really, really, really out of style, especially if you didn't have a lot of control. Now it seems like they're throwing them all out there and making the orbs a non-issue. And so I was saying, like, in a normal situation, I would not want to use Gilgamesh. He eats a lot of fucking turns. I was like, why would I keep spamming these free HP pluses if there was a lethal orb? Thankfully, there is no lethal orb, and he... And you haven't seen the fight yet, but it's to use in modified HP plus attack.
Oh. Okay.
Which is...
Yeah. Plenty of people have that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I used a team of Papa Limo, Edgar, and Alice, right?
There you go.
All these characters have. Yeah. Like, they all have very, very modified HP pluses. Very, very easy fight. But yeah, these orbs are fucking jokes now because I guess... So they let you use Gilgamesh. His damage is not great overall. His utility is nothing special. I think he's a lot of fun to play. If his numbers were much, much higher and competitive, it's unfortunate, right? He came right after Locke and Machina and Null, who were busting out 1 million damage. He's doing like 400k on consecutive turns. It can add up, but I don't know. Like, he's a fun character. I just don't think he's strong, and I can't advise anyone to pull unless they just want to have fun. But strength-wise, not great. But
there you go.
Go back to you, Mark.
And let us know. Go jump on the podcast polls. We'll share and see what other people are doing. It's just been live here for a little bit, so we won't share it tonight. We'll need to end a little bit early tonight, although we started late, so I guess we're not ending early at all. But we'll let you know more about the fight, although I don't think there's going to be tons to talk about. We'll let you know more about what's going on with everything going on. Looking ahead, we have Intersecting Will. That's Yuri on the 28th. The 3rd will be the second part of this Act 3, Chapter 2. That's Layla. The 9th will be a Heretic event with Theodore and Cyan. Necklord may come on and join us there. On the 14th, Intersecting Wills for Rem Cypher as well. Boss Rush 7 with Fang on the 17th. And then the Squex community stream will be after that as well. So thank you, Mino. Thank you,